What's going on, trainers? Welcome to Now to Play, a single video game focused adventure podcast. This season, we're doing the OG Pokemon Red Blue Nuzlocke. It's insane. I don't know why we're doing this, but we decided to do this. I'm your host today, John Isaacs, and with me, my co-adventurer, Finn Campbell.
Prepare for trouble.
Oh my god! All right, every episode, Finn and I will hang out with you and talk about what's happening in the game. We're going to talk about our different adventures we're having, what's going on, the Pokemon we have gained and or lost, and how things have turned out. Before we jump into it, let's just kind of recap what happened last week. And we both beat Brock at the Pewter City Gym. I don't know, Finn, do you have your team at the end of last episode? Do you have your team? And just give us a quick rundown of who you have and what we're going into this week.
Yeah, so there's Cremola, who is my starter, Squirtle. Then there was a Pidgey I caught called Beakwith. There was my Nidoran female version called Babs. And Rattata called Charlie. Oh, and also I had my Metapod, whose name was Shupa, after the little suction cup feed it has. Remind me of your team. What was your team like?
All right, with my starter, I have Ignatius the Charmeleon. He was the Charmander. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Yeah, he was a Charmander.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, I'm sorry. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's on me. Queenie the Nidoran. Furlon the Beedrill. Papillon the Butterfree. Maverick the Pidgey. That was my team at the end of last episode. I had to double check. So, here we are. We just finished beating Brock, and we're heading off to Mount Moon. Mm-hmm. It was one of those things. We had to go through Route 3 first. Mm-hmm. And this was just kind of I don't want to call it a gauntlet. Just you had a couple trainers over on the east side of Pewter City, and it's just some grass and just getting to Mount Moon. I took on a couple trainers. Finn, I know did you had to take on. Did you take everyone on too?
Yeah, there's weird optional paths where basically you have to pick your poison. No matter what way you go, there's some kind of trainer. I always value the XP, so I tried to hit everyone on this. But yeah, this is the first sort of route that we'll find, and it will continue on throughout the adventure where there's just a bunch of trainers lined up for you to hone your skills on. There was a few bug catchers in Viridian Forest, but this is the first real gauntlet, as you say.
Yeah. You actually had a little bit of pushback. Now you got through everything, but now they're kind of here to actually fight you as full trainers. I actually did catch one here on Route 3. Oh. This was the bottom right-hand corner right before you start going north. Mm-hmm. And I caught a Spearow.
Oh, very nice.
It was one of those things. I was like, I was trying to dodge a little bit because I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. But then knowing that we were going to go into Mount Moon, I was like, all right, I need someone else just to kind of fill out that roster just in case things go south real fast. Uh-huh. And so I went with, I caught a Spearow and I named him Chad.
And then he evolves into Giga Chad. No.
And evolves into Giga Chad. You are 100% correct. That is why I named him Chad.
So to me, with Pidgey and Spearow, it kind of gets a little bit redundant. Is there any friction in your party at this point? Who's going to be your main bird?
No, I'll be honest. It's going to be my Pidgey so far. I have that Spearow just because I do not remember, but I know Spearow comes with Peck, and Pidgey uses more of his wings. So there's a little bit of a different fight strategy with these two. So I know Pidgey's near and dear to my heart. I'm always going to keep a Pidgey, but if just in case, I always like having a bird. If Pidgey dies, or if Mav dies, I don't think I'm ever going to replace Mav. So I'm just going to bring Chad in here, and I'm going to be that trainer. I'm like, Chad, go. And everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? That's my Chad.
It's funny as well, because I talked a bit last week about how I see Pidgey as sort of this aristocratic Pokemon looking down on others. Mm-hmm. To me, Spearow is like the foil to that, where it's kind of like working class, a little bit scruffier of the birds. So to me, there's always a little bit of a rivalry there between Pidgey and Spearow. So it'll be interesting to see if you decide to stick to your guns and keep this Pidgey, or whether Spearow is going to step up and be a valuable asset to the team.
I will admit, he kind of helped out here and there, and we'll kind of get to that one here in a minute. But as soon as You're taking Route 4, you go north, you hit a Pokemon Center. In this Pokemon Center, you just start talking to everyone, and there's this guy, and right next to your computer, and someone's computer. And he goes, hey, man, I've got this magical fish for $500. You want this magical fish? You want to buy this fish?
I wanted to buy the fish.
Did you buy the fish?
I bought the fish. I bought the fish. I got myself a little Magikarp, little idiot of a Pokemon. I called him Top Mark.
Top Mark?
Yeah. Mark is like either like in terms of carnivals or professional wrestling. A mark is like, like an easy target. And wrestling, a mark is someone that like really buys into like the world they're creating and the story they're telling.
Okay.
And so to me, this guy who's selling the Magikarp sees you as a mark. And so, but I wanted to make this Magikarp feel special, so I gave him the top preamble. So he's Top Mark.
That's awesome.
Did you buy one?
I did, actually, because I didn't know what I was doing in the sense of I needed a Pokemon because I don't have water right now. So I was like, I'm going into Mount Moon. There might be something in here that might be rock related. And so I just I bought the Magikarp and I named him Jerry.
Okay.
Now, here's why. When I was a kid, I had a goldfish named Jerry. This bitch survived for 7 years.
Wow.
How this goldfish survived? I'm not lying. I can call my little sister. I can call my parents.
I'm surprised your goldfish didn't evolve into a Gyarados after that length of time.
I was like, he went on moves. I'm a military brat, so I've lived all over the place. He moved from pretty much Kansas City, Missouri, to just a little town called Garden City, Kansas. That was 7 hours away, and he survived multiple moves. I don't know how he did it. And I might be 38. I'm finding out my parents lied to me. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm sort of twisting this, heartwarming children's tale into, skepticism, as I always do. But how do you know that Jerry lived for 7 years? How do you know there weren't like 5 Jerrys?
I don't. I'm going to believe on hope and dreams that my Jerry goldfish survived. Like, I distinctly remember my parents even going, I'm surprised he's still alive.
One of my, I had 2 goldfish as a kid. One ate the other and then died itself. So
oh my God.
They didn't last long.
Holy shit. All right.
But yeah, I imagine there's a lot of Magikarps named after childhood goldfish or just fish in general. That's sweet because it does resemble a goldfish with its coloring and its, lifeless eyes. And
I mean, you're not wrong. So you asked the last episode when we first started up how it felt. Like, did I remember myself as a child playing this game when I was 12? And I said yes. Well, over the weekend, I was actually at my parents' house, and it was not lost on me that here I am sitting on a couch early in the morning playing Pokemon Red at my parents' house. And I just kind of stopped and I was like, huh.
That's so sweet.
This is actually happening right now. And my parents we were there sitting watching TV, and I'm just playing Pokemon right there. And I was like, this is kind of crazy that this is all kind of lining up weirdly where I'm like, yeah, we're spending the weekend with them. I'm playing Pokemon. They didn't ask me. I would have laughed my ass off if they did. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm playing the game, the actual game you got me 20 plus years ago.
I like to think your parents don't know that gaming has evolved and think you're still playing Pokemon Red and Blue.
I love them to death. They don't. I have to show it. Like some of the times I'll show them like, oh yeah, I'm playing this game, or this is what we're doing right now for CouchCapades, and they're like, that's a video game. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy, and it's just keeping them kind of informed because I have little cousins who play Fortnite and all that stuff. But
and it's still recognizable, cool. Right? It's like Pong or Tetris. Like anyone gets what that is looking at it for a second, which is nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I just was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm playing Pokemon at my parents' house on the original cart they bought me years ago. So just kind of bringing back that childhood thing.
That's adorable. I love that.
All right. Mountain Moon. Mountain Moon sucked.
Yeah, Mountain Moon was rough. When did it get rough for you? Because it got rough for me pretty early on.
So, okay. How it worked for me is I went in and then to the left. And I took on one trainer and I was like, all right, this is cool. I can do this. I got a Zubat. I was like, all right, well, I was hoping for something else, but here's Zubat. So I grabbed that Zubat, named him Bruce.
Bruce.
On the nose. Had to go with that one.
On the nose, I'm lost.
A bat, and its name is Bruce.
Is there a famous cartoon bat named Bruce? I'm so lost right now.
Are you kidding me? Bruce Wayne?
Oh, of course.
Oh my God.
I wasn't thinking in that sort of level of bat.
All right, that's fair.
Bruce Wayne, of course.
I told Rose, and she's like, oh, come on, John, you're better than that. I'm like, no, Bruce.
You could have told me.
I feel vindicated now.
Oh, man, that's fun. I also caught a Zubat in here. Named it Ceres. That is after the main character of an anime called Helsing, which is about vampires, and she is a vampire. She is a human turned vampire, and she's a very cool character in that show. So Ceres is what I went for, because, vampire bat. That's also on the nose.
Yeah. And then I circled back around to like the very beginning, and then there was the Lass. The first time you get introduced to the Lass. Screw that Clefairy dog. That was the part when I was like, okay, now we've entered into the new, oh God, I have to be very mindful of what I'm doing. And Jesus, did I almost lose Iggy? When I say I almost lost Iggy, I was about 4 pips. I had 4 HP left, and he woke up and then lit this bitch on fire.
John, I'm glad, because it was the exact same for me. Everyone was on their last legs. I did not have a lot of potions. I remember just breezing through Mount Moon as a kid, and so I didn't remember how tough this Clefairy was. And, the sleep is like a percentage chance. Like, you roll the dice every turn whether you're going to wake up. These assholes would not wake up. They wouldn't.
I got so panicked.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Iggy, no, get back here. Because I was like, you're not doing it. Let me throw out Mav. Mav right to sleep. And I'm like, shit. That was the second or third time I got like terribly scared that I'm about to lose one of my Pokemon.
Yeah, that was a snap to reality moment for me as well. And it's this thing of how close you are when one Pokemon is on its last legs, all of your Pokemon are on its last legs. Because switching out, if you switch out, you're gonna take a hit on the way back, because they get basically a free hit on you. So it's like a risk reward calculation, like, oh, I can bring this person in now, but then they're going to be at half health, and then do they have the speed to hit an attack before they get hit back? And
oh my God.
Do you know what got me through this fight, John? Was thinking about you last week taking on Brock and your Pidgey kicking the sand up into the eyes of the Onix. And that's exactly what I did. I got sick of this thing putting me to sleep, so I was like, okay, it's a percentage chance. I'm bringing in Beak with sand, and it never made me sleep again. And then it was just quick attack, pick.
Let me ask, did you start figuring out your path of like, can I get around this trainer? Because the gut check of the Lass who just almost annihilated our entire Nuzlocke.
Well, the thing was, right, so she was at the very entrance, so you were able to just go back out and get your Pokemon healed up again and try again. But yeah, you're right, like if that was at the entrance, what's going to be up ahead? I knew we were going to deal with a bunch of Team Rocket guys going in here, because we know they're on Mount Moon, we know they're up to something. And Team Rocket are pretty on brand with their Pokemon selections. It's rats, it's bats, it's snakes. Clefairy doesn't really, in the Pokedex Center it says it's magical and cute appeal, has many admirers. It is rare and only found in certain areas. So magical and cute doesn't really scream Team Rocket's whole vibe. So I didn't think, I was going to deal with one of those. But who knows what could appear from these other trainers. But I just went in with no fear. I put Beakwith up front so that I had Sand Attack ready to go in case there was another Clefairy. That
actually is a great idea. I'm going to be honest, I didn't think about that.
The thing is, you did think of it just last week with a different Pokemon.
I did, yeah. But it just never clicked back in like this round. I was like, oh, why didn't I just have Mav up there and just Sand Attack the shit out of everyone?
Yeah, so... But for me, John, I'm trying to think ahead. I'm thinking of late game, and I'm like, I got to battle everyone and get these guys trained up.
Fair.
Because it's got to be somewhere. It's going to either be running around in the grass or it's going to be against trainers. And I don't like to grind in Pokemon too much, so I normally...
Really?
Yeah, if I'm playing normally, I always like to be under-leveled. and try and beat my opponents with trickery and shenanigans, because then I feel like I've overcome something challenging. With this, I'm a bit scared to do just as I would normally do, but there's still that tendency to like roll the dice a little bit.
So we get through the very bottom level of Mount Moon. It's the third level. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where we're just seeing all these rockets. Every single time we go down one of the stairs or the ladders, we run into a rocket and we're fighting them. They're kind of like looking for the moon crystal or the moon stones, or what are they looking for? I don't actually remember, Finn.
In here, they're looking for fossils.
Fossils. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we're just kind of going through fighting everyone with the rockets. But then as we're kind of coming out of Mount Moon, it's not the first time we've run into this trainer, but it's really, really funny to me that it's called the Super Nerd.
Yeah. And he's like got his little glasses.
He's
like yeah, pushing them inwards.
Actually, if you turn off your computer and turn it back on, it's going to actually work better. And you're like, shut up, man.
I think in the remakes, he's just a scientist. Like, he's just like... still a nerd, but less like. Ugh. This is the first time we actually see Team Rocket as well. We see these guys. They're clad in black uniforms, with red R's on their chests, and the Gen 1 sprite is pretty appalling because like they're carrying a whip. They're whipping these Pokemon. Yeah, how weird is that?
We're talking about this whole idea of like, oh, they're out to fight. You've got some trainers who are doing good things to Pokemon, and then Team Rocket shows up, and they're just whipping the Pokemon. You're like, there's a juxtaposition between this thing of like, oh, we're just training them, battling them, but they're not actually dying. But then Team Rocket's here, like, ooh. It's just kind of weird that they're having the whip. I don't know what they were thinking about with that.
Because they don't care. They don't care about treating their Pokemon with kindness. That's what makes them evil. They're in this mountain trying to get fossils, not for any scientific gain, not to add to their party. Their goal is to somehow revive these fossils and sell the Pokemon for profit. So that just tells you their whole MO. They, in this world where everyone is obsessed with Pokemon and just everyone has their little buddies, Team Rocket are the opposite of that, where they just do not care. They're in it for themselves.
Because we beat the Super Nerd, we get to choose two fossils, the Helix and the Dome Fossil. It's a big decision.
It's a big decision. We talked about choices last week. This is another big choice. You got to keep one. The Super Nerd takes the other. I chose the Dome Fossil.
Excellent.
Because you chose the
Helix.
Excellent. Okay.
After we get out of Mount Moon, we're on Route 4. Yeah, I jumped in. It was just, I got attacked. I wasn't really planning on it. And it was an Ekans. So I grabbed the Ekans. And I was like, all right, well, you're going to be Indy. So Indy the Ekans. Indy doesn't like snakes. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll just do that.
I'm sorry, Indy Snake.
Indiana Jones.
Okay. No, I get it. I get this one. I'm messing with you.
I was like, don't do this to me again, man. don't make this happen. So, okay. So I looked up what Cerulean Cities were like, because once you get past Route 4, Cerulean City's there. And I got a little teaser what Cerulean City is. And so Cerulean City is located in the Kanto region that has a few notable locations, such as the Bike Shop, the Cerulean City Gym, and the Cerulean Cave. It also has the location of the second gym, which is what we're going to go after. But what I loved about this is that there was a fun fact about Cerulean City. Cerulean City, a mysterious blue aura surrounds it. In Japanese, its motto is Hanada, is the color of aqua mysteries. There's the Bike Shop. I went to the Bike Shop because I had to confirm it one more time. We know how much this bitch costs. $1 million.
Yeah.
Why? Why does this thing cost $1 million?
To me, I think that's what a 10-year-old sees as basically what the price of a bike is. Like, you're 10 years old and you walk into a shop and like you see a bike that's like $100, $200. You're like, whoa, that's so much money. I'm never going to be able to afford that. If I had $100, I'd be a millionaire. So that's what I see it. It's sometimes I have to rationalize these things. I rationalize that as like the kid inflating what the price of this bike actually is to their scale.
I never thought of it that way. That's freaking genius. Because then it kind of justifies like the Pokeball costing what, $200, $300, or potions are $300 when in actuality it's like $5, and it's not that much. Like as an adult, $5, all right, I need it. It's not a big deal. But as a kid at 10, $5 might as well be $500. Holy crap, Finn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Never thought of it that way. I freaking love that. All right. Finn, did you actually go straight to Misty and fight her, or did you kind of obviously walked around, but did you go north on Route 24, or did you actually, what did you do here at this point?
So I knew I would need more training. My Pokemon were probably sitting around level 12-ish here, and I know Misty's are, around level 20, so I thought, I'm just going to get bodied if I walk straight into Misty. Again, under normal circumstances, I might have just said, I can work my way around this. I have 6 Pokemon, she is 2, but no, I absolutely wanted to train my squad up first, so I went up to the Nugget Bridge.
But before that, you had to fight me again.
Oh, I did, yeah. Which I wasn't prepared for.
I wasn't either.
I didn't know you came down this way, and so I was a bit like caught with my pants down. But I will say that despite being caught unawares, my team handled you.
Oh,
my Beakwith absolutely destroyed your little Bulbasaur. It was ashamed of itself afterwards.
I did the same thing. I was like, all right, I got to go north. I got to train. And I wasn't prepared for you to show up. And I was like, oh, shit. Because I was just looking. And right when you hit that, there's a line that you hit and your rival comes down. You came down because I wasn't actually going to go fight just yet. I just wanted to see where they were at. And then you showed up and I was like, oh, shit. And thankfully, Mav and Iggy took care, like, hands down. Because that's when I remembered sand attack again. I was like, oh, shit, I'm just going to spray sand on everyone. And then Iggy and Mav just knocked everyone out. It was not even funny. So it was kind of fun to...
Yeah, I got an important detail wrong. Beakwith was very important in handling your Pidgey in that fight.
Okay.
So shout out to Beakwith. However, at this point, Shupa had evolved and blossomed into a lovely Butterfree.
Oh, nice.
I've been training them up because I knew they got a cool move, which would be Confusion, which is a Psychic type move. This is good against poison types. Bulbasaur is a grass poison type. I destroyed that Bulbasaur with my little Shupa. That was a crowning achievement. And honestly, looking a bit ahead, Shupa was maybe my MVP for the entire episode. Yeah, just really doing some good work out there. So yeah, a little evolution there.
Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, my Charmander evolved. Iggy evolved in Mount Moon. I forget. Yeah, I should have took more notes on that one, but yeah, it was just kind of going that back and forth and trying to fight everyone, and then Iggy evolved into Charmeleon, so I have that one, and then Mav is a Pidgeotto right now. So
wow.
So yeah, I grinded a little more than I was anticipating, mainly because I was throwing Jerry in there. Jerry get some of the XP and then throwing the other Pokemon, anyone else in there. So it was usually Iggy. The Nugget Bridge, the gauntlet that was terrifying.
Really? I was good up until the very last one. Yeah. I handled it. Again, Shupa was just so quick that it was getting attacks in before anyone else. Charlie was unreal with Hyperfang this time around. Hyperfang's a really strong move you get early in the game. So they were just knocking people out. And yeah, the only... I can't remember what Pokemon they had at the end, but that was the one I really struggled with. Yes, a Mankey. So this is like the first fighting type you encounter. Mankey is a gorgeous creature.
Yes.
Mankey and Primate might be some of my ideal Pokemon. This little ball of fur and rage, this little monkey that fights with a pig snout. It's a beautiful creature. However, my hatred for it knew no bounds. For the sheer... Karate Chop must have heightened crit chance.
Oh my god, dog. I'm not going to give you shit.
Crit.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, Iggy took on this Mankey. I'm with, like, Iggy and Mav were my MVPs, and I kept on throwing Jerry in there. Just trying. I'm like, I need this Gyarados, man. I need it.
What ended up being my strategy for beating that Mankey, again, that was another hairy situation where I was like, what am I going to do? My Nidoran, Babs, had evolved into a Nidorina by this stage.
Okay.
She was pretty beefy in defense, and Growl was super useful. because it lowers attack. So I just kept growling at this Mankey, and even if it did crit with a karate chop, it wasn't doing any damage at that point. So at that point, it's safe. And then I go in and just, I can't bring out Charlie because he's normal type. He will get bodied. Pidgey is flying type, but also part normal, so that's no good either. But Babs had it covered. But yeah, man, that was rough.
So yeah, after was it a junior trainer with a level 18 Mankey, we take on Rocket one more time and beat them. And
why do we take on Rocket?
Why do we take on Rocket?
The reason they
were just at the end, right?
Yeah, so like at the Nugget Bridge, they're like, okay, congratulations, you beat the Nugget Bridge, here's your Nugget.
That's right.
By the way, you're a good trainer. Do you want to join Team Rocket? Gets me every time. I completely forgot about this aspect of it, because I was thinking on the way through the Nugget Bridge, I was like, why are these trainers here? This isn't like an officially recognized gym. Are these people just like kind of hanging out? And the way I justified it in my head was, like maybe these are just trainers that know like that Pokemon trainers that are just starting out come through here a lot, and so they're basically trying to train up their Pokemon by like beating all these weak trainers, enticing them with a nugget. And so I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Completely forgetting that they're all Team Rocket grunts, and they're just trying to basically scout for a talented person to add to their group. And I thought that was so funny. And yeah, I really, really loved it. It's like, of course. And they probably stole this nugget from someone too. It's like,
they had to have.
Yeah.
It's one of the, like, we know Team Rocket steals shit, so this nugget probably belongs to someone else, and we're going to have to return it maybe. I don't know. Pokemon doesn't really let us do that, but who knows? We get through that. I went west. Yes. There's that little section right there next to that Nugget Bridge that had grass, and I was like, I need something there. Something, the Pokemon gods will look down upon me and go, Jon, we got you. And this little bitch of an Oddish showed up. And I caught him. Her, actually. I'm going to call her her. Because her name is Anne. Anne.
After anyone in particular?
It is called Queen Anne's... Oh, I don't remember. It's a poisonous... like
flower?
I don't want to say... Like, it's a poisonous plant. Yeah. Queen Anne's... Oh, hell, I had it just a minute ago. But yeah, I was like, I wanted to think of like, what's a good poison name? And I was like, oh, there's something called Queen Anne's something. I was like, Anne, that'll work. Hell yeah.
I encountered something in this area of grass too. I thought I would encounter something else, but what appeared before me was a little Abra.
Oh.
And
did you catch it?
Abra's whole deal is they have one move, it's teleport.
I hate that
thing. And if you don't catch them on one turn, they will teleport away. So you just have to throw your Pokeball and hope.
So let me ask that. That's discussion, because I know we're about to move to Route 25, and Abra's in those little grassy areas going to... We find out Bill is over there. This guy named Bill, thanks to you and I talking to each other as our rivals. How does that work in a Nuzlocke? If you run into Abra at the very beginning of that section and you don't catch Abra and Abra teleports, is that section locked off?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. That was your first encounter, your first new encounter.
That was your first. Okay, I wanted to make sure. Like, I didn't catch it. I'll be honest. Spoiler: I didn't even go into the grass in 25 on Route 25 because I was like, I think if I don't catch this Abra, I'm screwed.
You're gonna need to explain that to me. What's your plan with Route 25?
So Route 25, you have Abras. There is a possibility of doing Abras, but you have the grass. I skipped all the grass because I wasn't quite sure. Like, do I want to try and catch this Abra, or would it be? I mean, obviously it's a roll of the dice, so would it be better for me to hopefully get something other than an Abra? Because I think every time I tried to catch an Abra as a kid, I could never get it until I got like a Great Ball. So I always waited until later to catch the Abra and then really push it to leveled up to Kadabra and Alakazam when you trade.
So you're waiting for a higher level ball, essentially.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm going to wait for a higher level ball to catch Abra. That's kind of usually what I do. Now that I've beat Misty, maybe I'll actually go back and just see if I can catch an Abra.
So to clear the air of suspense, I threw this Pokeball at Abra. Tick.
Did you actually get it? Oh.
And it teleported away.
God damn it.
So I did not catch that Abra. That was it got real close. But it was not to be.
I would have cried. I'll be honest with you. I was like, I need any kind. I'll take just a grass type. That's all I want. If Abra showed up, I'd have been pissed. I needed that freaking grass type Pokemon. But thankfully, got it. Started going east on Route 25. Trainers all over the place. This is where we're starting to kind of really look at ground and rock type Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Like after Brock, like they were using, some of these trainers were using rock type Pokemon. There was a boyfriend and girlfriend there. I don't know what they were doing in the woods. I just use your imagination.
Oh yeah, she was like, my boyfriend's so cool.
Wait, Machamp, Onix. There's
Machamp
hikers.
Again with Karate Chop. It got nastier as it went along.
Get a Sandshrew in there finally. We had a youngster had a Sandshrew. And again, not having any kind of water type Pokemon or anything, it was really kind of, it gets very hairy for me.
Right, but it shouldn't have any ground type moves by that point, right? It's just too beefy for you. Like
it's too beefy.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it's at. I have the Charmeleon, and that was level 16, so I'm probably level 17, so I'm handling everything okay. But there's still that fear that this Nuzlocke is causing me to have, and I'm like, I hate that. But you get through all that, and we finally find the Sea Cottage. This is where apparently some dude named Bill is there, is the Pokemon fanatic, the Poke fanatic, the Pokemaniac. But when you walk in here, there's a Pokemon. And you're like, well, that's weird. Not super weird, but it's kind of weird. You go up and you talk to it. And it talks back. That's when you register. You've probably played this game too much and you understand what the Pokemon are saying, and you should probably put it down. But that's not actually the case. Come to find out that this is Bill, who is a scientist, inventor, pretty much Tony Stark, I guess, and has spliced his genes and DNA with a Pokemon. Literally pulling out concepts of the fly from 1983, I think?
That's definitely what it's referencing, right?
I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. So you help him, and he's like, all right, cool, thanks for that. Here's a ticket to a cruise ship. I don't like doing that stuff. That's not my thing. You go do it for me. And you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, so we got to talk about that Bill thing, because that's too weird to just like gloss over.
That's fine. Let's talk about it. I'm good.
You just walk in and this Pokemon starts speaking, and it's like, oh yeah, I spliced my genes with the Pokemon. Again, this is another instance, John, where I have to rationalize things.
Okay, rationalize it. Do it.
I'm thinking about, okay, how does this actually work? We fought, right before the Nugget Bridge, we fought our rival. They talked about Bill. They were like, I was at Bill's house. He showed me all his rare Pokemon. He's a good guy. You should go talk to him, right?
Yeah.
So in my head, what's happening here is, in the Bill episode in the anime, he's wearing a costume of a Pokemon. He takes it off and like scares them. What I think is happening here is your rival went to see Bill first. You would end up coming along and said, let's mess with this guy's head. You wear this costume and say you spliced with a Pokemon. Then ask him to go over your PC and run this program, and then just step behind the curtain and appear back as yourself. I think this is your rival messing with you and Bill playing along. I cannot justify that we're able to just become Pokemon now.
Yeah, okay, you know what? You're right, because it is such a concept. It's like a drop in the bucket of like, oh yeah, he did this, and then no one ever talks about this ever again.
It never comes up.
Like, this is world-changing science that this man has pulled off, and no one seems to give a shit.
Do you want a conspiracy theory? I've got another one.
Do it, let's go.
Obviously, your rival, again, talks to you just before the Nugget Bridge. He obviously went through that Nugget Bridge. He clearly was able to best the Team Rocket guys. He doesn't mention any of that. He doesn't say any of that to you. Did he take the offer? Is he part of Team Rocket now?
Oh, I never thought of that.
He just doesn't decide to mention that. He's like, oh yeah, Bill's up there, but let's not talk
don't
about
worry
Team
about
Rocket guys on the bridge.
I never thought of it. Like, he's always one step ahead of you.
Uh-huh.
I always just assumed he was a douche, but what if he is on Team Rocket?
It's that fine line, right? Of like, is he just a douche to you to be a rival, or is he like a little bit evil, actually?
That's awesome. I love that. All right. all said and done, it's time to take on Misty. Unless do you have anything else you need to do first before you go take on Misty?
I got a little scared before Misty as well.
Okay.
My Pokemon were a little bit higher level at this point, but I definitely was concerned based off of the Clefairy fight, based off of getting blindsided by Machops and Mankey. So I was like, okay, I need an insurance policy here. So I did end up going up to Route 25, hoping not to run into an Abra again, and roll the dice. And I did make a catch. It was a Bellsprout.
Oh,
a Pokemon that I would never catch under normal circumstances because I hate that thing.
Why?
It just looks dim with it.
That's fair. You know, I'm not going to fight you on that one. It does.
I named it Nunu because to me it kind of reminds me of, do you know in the Teletubbies they have the vacuum cleaner robot? The way the Bellsprout's snout kind of pokes up and it just, its eyes are empty, but it's like, it looks like a vacuum cleaner to me, and it looks kind of like Nunu, so it's after the Teletubbies vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah, I kind of did the same thing. I think the ones, because I can't really use Iggy. I was like, I'm not putting Iggy in if my life depended on it. I would rather just text you, be like, hey, man, I died. I'm not killing Iggy. I'm done. Not happening. So I was like, Iggy's not even happening. I had Mav ready to go, I think about 19, 20-ish. And then I had Anne at 18, 19. And what's really cool about this is when I got Anne, every single time Anne leveled up, she got a move. So she only had Absorb, and then she got Stun Spore, and then she got Sleep Powder, and then she got Poison Powder.
Nice. Really, really
just
good.
Back to back to back. And I was like, walking in, I've never felt more confident in my life with Anne. I was like, I'm about to wreck shop.
Uh-huh.
I recorded it. It took me 3 minutes. I had a moment where I was like, do I put someone else in here to get that XP? Like, I thought about that because they were asleep. And I was like,
that's a disrespectful move, John.
It really is. And I really thought about it because I was like, I have like a level, I don't know, someone's like in single digits. And this Staryu is like 20, 21. And I was like, do I do that? And I was like, no.
Was it Jerry? Did you try and bring in Jerry against Misty?
I thought about it. I actually thought about doing, like, what if I start with Jerry? What if I just throw Jerry in there and then just roll everyone out? And I thought about doing that again. And I was like, no, let me just put Misty out of her misery, get the Cascade badge and call it a day. And I did. And I was very, very happy with that one. It felt great. Thank God, MVP right now. And up at the MVP.
Wow. Good stuff, Anne. Yeah, really, really quick. Same thing happened to me, except with my Butterfree, Shuba, who also learned Stun Spore and also learned Sleep Powder, which was super clutch. And then just, they couldn't do anything. They were asleep. But then shits them with confusion. And I was good at that point. However, Shuba did take some damage from the Staryu, the weaker one.
Okay.
And it needed to be switched out before the Starmie. So I was like, okay, can't be that bad. Let's bring in Charlie. Charlie's been clutch all day. He's going to Hyper Fang this thing. It's going to die in one hit. Yeah. I bring in Charlie. The Starmie uses Water Gun. Takes it from full health down to 6 HP.
Oh my god!
I was like, what? And so it became nervous from that point. I was switching out. It kept using Water Gun. Everyone down to their last legs. And I can't remember. Cremola had evolved just before we went in this gym. So it was able to take the water hits while I healed everyone up. Had a second go at it. Brought in Shupa. Sleep. Confusion. We're done. Cascade badge earned. But it was hairy again. It was God. I could have lost Charlie. I would have died. It's crazy how many new Pokemon we've seen in this episode. When you think back on it, what's your favorite new one that you've seen, just like in the wild or caught or whatever?
I have to give it to Anne. I have to give it to Oddish. I forgot how cute Oddish is, and just as this odd looking radish onion little thing, and you're like, all right, cute, and like I just see it being like that big, not super big, but just big enough where you're like, okay, cool. and then it just wrecks freaking shop.
Yeah. I really have a soft spot for Starmie and Staryu. And they're just so weird looking, right? Like, it's a starfish, and starfish are normally quite lame, right? Because they're, like, floppy. Staryu looks like made of stone, just, like, hard and, like, sharp edges.
It's just going to break you.
Yeah, another random thing with me specifically is if anyone in the UK knows the chocolate magic stars, they're little like star-shaped chocolates, and they look exactly like a little Staryu to me. Those are both kind of my favorite from this week because they kind of share a slot in my head. Yeah, they kind of do, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I'm looking it up right now. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you're right.
And so I always picture like Staryu as being like really tasty for that reason.
We become the police because one of these buildings, actually, the police are blocking off. You can't get in there, and I guess because you beat Misty, they're like, "Oh, you're good enough now. You can walk in." And this is a house that not Misty, but Rocket has just Team Rocket's gone in, destroyed, stole something. You talk to the guy, he's like, "Yeah, I've been really working at it. They stole something specific, and it was a TM move called Dig. Team Rocket was trying to dig into some place to get those fossils, and then when you get to the back of this house." Then Team Rocket's there. I guess no one knows what anyone looks like in the Vermilion City, not the Cerulean City police. I don't know how he infiltrated them. Not 100% sure how that worked, but you go talk to the guy and he's like, "Oh, I'm Team Rocket now, and let me fight you." And you fight the guy. You get Dig back from him. And like me, I'm a nice guy. I go back to the gentleman who's like, "Hey," thinking to myself, "I'm going to give this back to you because it was stolen." And then this guy's just like, "It's lost. Nothing I can do." Oh, well. And you're like, "Well, then why'd you call the police, man?" Why does it bother you? It bothered you then, doesn't bother you now, and now I have a dig for a Pokemon that I have to pick up.
I think it was the principle of the matter.
Fair.
You just can't have someone breaking into your house.
I mean, you're right. You can't call the cops if someone breaks in your house. And I get that. But I was just like, oh, well, easy come, easy go. Pretty much is what he said. I was like, your house got broken into, dog. What are you doing?
I've got another justification in my head.
Okay, let's do it.
Because the policeman doesn't actually move out of the way when you beat Misty. The policeman moves out of the way when you visited Bill and passed the Nugget Bridge.
Is that? Okay, all right.
So in my head, what's happened is you said, hey, they're Team Rocket goons on that bridge, but don't worry, I beat them. And the policeman mentions that the police even have trouble dealing with Team Rocket. So he's like, kid, you're our only hope. Go in there, mess them up.
He taps you in.
Yeah.
I stopped there.
Yeah.
I know you went to Route 5, so tell me about Route 5 real fast.
It's just a little preview of what we'll be doing next week. Basically, the only thing there is the daycare, and then there's a little patch of grass where you can catch some Pokemon, so I went and caught a Meowth.
Oh, shit, okay.
Which I've never had before. I've never had a little Meowth. It's an exclusive to Blue, so that was fun. What did I name this Meowth? Oh, I named it Gigi. After the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service, the little black cat that she has. Love that movie, so I got a little cat, got to name it Gigi. Nice. Yeah, the next thing on there, because that road should lead down to Saffron City, but it's blocked off. They'll tell you can't go that way. But there is a tunnel that goes underground that will take us from Cerulean City, where we are now, to Vermilion, which is where we're going next, to get the lightning badge. Okay.
Is that Diglett tunnel? Is that the Diglett?
No,
section?
That's not Diglett Cave. Okay. You'll not encounter any Pokemon in this tunnel. It's just a big empty tunnel.
Cool. We know what we're doing next time we get together and talk about this stuff. We'll go take on the Lightning Badge, Lieutenant Surge. I need a rock Pokemon like no one's business. I don't have anything. I'm scared.
I have one more order of business, John, before we close out the show. And I know we're going long, but this needs to be talked about.
Okay, let's do it.
I did catch one more Pokemon on Route 4. I caught a Sandshrew.
Oh, shit.
I am willing to trade this Sandshrew to you, sir.
Okay.
Because I love Sandshrew, beautiful Pokemon, Sandslash, one of my favorites. I've had them in my parties before. I know you love Sandshrew, so I'd be willing to trade that. And also, I'd be willing to trade my little Bellsprout, little Nunu. Okay. Because again, I think that thing's gross and I don't want it in my party anymore.
Okay.
So there's 2 Pokemon up for grabs here if you'd be wanting to do some sort of trade.
What are you looking for on the red side?
I was gonna ask for your Oddish. But,
oh, shit.
But I nearly don't want to do that to you because it is your MVP. Now, I will say that Nunu did come in clutch, and it's also grass poison type, so it could be a like-for-like trade with the Oddish. The simpler trade, perhaps, because it's in your box anyway, is your Ekans. I would love to trade you the Sandshrew for
an
Ekans. Yeah.
Okay. Sure, why not? I Ekans, I don't have any kind of relationship with Ekans or Indy or anything like that. It's just when I was a kid, this is one of the only games I 100%ed, so I had to have a Arbok. But yeah, no, let's do it. I'm down. Let's do a trade.
Okay. And then what about the Bellsprout for Oddish trade?
You really want this Bellsprout?
I don't want the Bellsprout. I want rid of the Bellsprout.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, you really want my Oddish. Oh, you really want Anne. You know what? F it. Do it. We'll do it. It's the podcast. This is content.
Are you sure? I don't want to rob you of your MVP.
Look, no, I have my time with Anne. Anne is in my house right now with me, smiling. If anyone watches the video version, I'm always trying to hint at something up there. Oh, so, Anne, you can have Anne. I'm gonna do I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to do this, but I'm a man of my word. I know how much you love Oddish. I love that. I think that's fantastic. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So you and I will trade the Pokemon. I'll get my Sandshrew. You have Anne, and then we have the other ones that are just whatever. I don't care about that. But yeah,
awesome.
Then I get my Sandshrew. God, I'm gonna wreck shop with Sandshrew. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna wreck shop.
You get Earthquake on that bad boy. There's no one that can stop you.
Right. That's kind of where I'm looking at. I have a plan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we're going long. I have a plan of who I want in my final team, I'm working toward that plan.
Are any of those, other than maybe Iggy, but like other than Iggy, are any of those that you want in your final team in your party right now?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Because for me, every spot is up for grabs, including Cremola. It's all up for grabs right now.
No, I have my ideas. And granted, being in Nuzlocke, everything's going to change because I don't know who's going to just kick the bucket. But also just how I'm playing is changing with this style instead of, again, like last week or last podcast, I said I just hit hard. This is now strategy. So I can say yes right now. Sweet. All right. Well, you know what? You can find Now to Play and the other CouchCapades podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you want to watch the video versions of us, see our faces, or any of the Let's Plays or any other stuff that we do, live streams, go to youtube.com/@CouchCapades. We are on social media. Everywhere, TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, it's all at CouchCapades. So we will see you guys next time, and hopefully we don't lose anyone. We'll have our different Pokemon. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. That's Finn. I'm John, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Just a moment. This is still the pinnacle of technology to me, is trading Pokemon.
Bye, Sandshrew.
Wow, look at this. Bloop, 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 bloop.
The technology is here, man. I agree. This is one of the cooler things, and I don't think we've ever hit something as cool as this.
Take good care of Cash. Cash is the name of the Sandshrew.
Cash?
Yeah.
Nice.
Named after Johnny Cash. Because I
like it.
I like...
He would be my man in black.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye, Andy. Thanks for hanging out. I didn't really use you. I just caught you and then put you in the box. So.
Trade completed. Alright, this is the big one now. Your little Oddish for my Bellsprout.
My MVP. I want you to know this hurts me a little bit. This hurts me just a little bit.
Oh. It's happening. It's done. It's too late.
I said yes. I'm a man of my word. Let's do it.
God, this is so cool. Look at it. It's going through the pipe. And it's going into your Game Boy. Yay. Yay! Look at it!
Too.
Yeah, it's so pleased to be on my team and not your stupid team.
Jesus, I treated it right.
It's too late now. Alright. right, so
Technology is beautiful.
we're gonna train these bad boys up and head to Vermilion City.